Hello, welcome. This is Sports This Morning. I'm Austin Okonakman.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
It is great to have you join us again. I'm Taya Salah.
Okay, action-packed for the sports. We begin from here in Lagos, Nigeria, at the CAF Beach Soccer Cup of Nations. It was Côte d'Ivoire that got the victory over the Super Sand Eagles of Nigeria. It was a thrilling encounter. Don't get it wrong. It ended 4-4 and got into penalties, and then the Ivorians stole it.
Yeah, 2 wins out of 2 for the Ivorians. Nigeria, well, see what's going to happen if you can make it to the finals on Sunday. Okay, it's 10 out of 10 for Chelsea. 10 straight wins in a row, and right now they are 6 points clear.
Wow,
champions in the making.
What a run! I mean, that's the character of a champion there, of champions, because they've come close to actually dropping points in some of those games, but they found a way to win. Sets Fabregas with that winning goal against Sunderland. Also on the show, I mean, this fight between Anthony Joshua and Vladimir is still on April 29, 2017, but they've started a promo tour already, and those guys are talking, and this is going to be a very strange one, Austin, because there's a lot of mutual respect between these two guys. You don't expect a lot of trash talking, like we see, you know, in normal boxing promo runs.
Yeah.
It's going to be very cordial between these two guys because they're big fans of each other. So I'm looking forward to it. And the question everyone is still asking is it too early for Anthony Joshua to be fighting someone like Vladimir Klitschko?
Too late,
we'll find out.
Too late, because the pen has touched the dotted line. We'll go and see that fight.
Exactly, we'll find out.
I don't care if it's too late or if it's too early. But I like what you said about it being 50-50 and everybody being careful to talk about it, because whatever it turns into, we will not see it as a presser we saw between Chisora and Dillian White.
Okay, you know what? Before we
come back to that one.
Let's talk about beach soccer now. Nigeria, well, it wasn't a good one for them. It was actually a thrilling game.
Yeah.
But someone penalties, it could go either way, and that was what happened to the Beach Sound Eagles. They were beaten by Côte d'Ivoire for. How did it not end?
What a game.
3-1 penalty shootout.
Yeah, what a game.
At the end of the day, it ended.
We said it.
Back and forth.
That's
you know, Ivory Coast took the lead, Nigeria equalized. So it went on and on like that until it was very late in the game when Nigeria scored the 4th goal. And just when you thought, okay, this is the win for Nigeria now, Côte d'Ivoire scored with the last kick of the game.
And that's where you should question the character of the team. Also keep saying you don't lose
character all the time.
You don't lose games at that time.
Working out
with one of your fans.
Yeah.
You don't lose such games, particularly when you didn't have it in your hands, and you know that this Côte d'Ivoire team, they're getting better game after game, and they're doing so much for their beach soccer. But let's see what if they can.
Morocco beating Libya 9-3. That's a huge one. Egypt and Ghana 5-4, and Senegal and Madagascar. Senegal beating Madagascar 3-1. So Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire, you will say they are already in the semis because of their result being in their favor.
So that's the story at the CAF Africa Beach Soccer Cup of Nations. We are monitoring it. It's going on here in Lagos, Nigeria. So
yeah, fixtures for today.
That's right.
Libya will take on Senegal. Egypt versus Côte d'Ivoire. Madagascar will play Morocco, and Nigeria will have the opportunity to bounce back when they take on Ghana. So
Ghana lost to Egypt 5-4.
Yeah,
so
they've got to win this one.
Yeah.
Straight away.
They've got to win this one. Win next day.
Win
to play Côte d'Ivoire. Beat them for
whenever they have the opportunity. From what we can see based on the sports game, there's not a lot between those two sides.
Yeah,
It's very competitive between them. So there's no reason why Nigeria can beat them if they meet, you know, in the latter stages of the competition.
Okay, so says Coach Tayo Salah. There's no way. Okay, we're trying to make sense out of this fight between Vladimir Klitschko and Anthony Joshua. Boxing fans all over the world, gear up, get ready. No, don't fast it. Your seatbelt now, because there's a lot that we'll still get out of this fight. Tayo, when it was announced, it brought excitement. They went to Wembley, they got us talking, and this fight, each time I listen to Vladimir Klitschko and the sort of respect he's giving to Anthony Joshua, I'm saying Joshua shouldn't in any way get carried away. This guy has got some venom.
If you know Joshua, I don't think he's getting carried away at all. He knows he's fighting a legend. So I don't think he's going to underrate. I mean, who underrates Vladimir? You don't do that again. Your right senses as a boxer. So that's not going to happen. It will be all about, the the kind of form he brings into the ring on April 29th. Anthony Joshua definitely, for me, will go into that fight as the underdog, because when you're fighting someone that reigned, for almost 11 years, I was unbeaten for a very long time in Vladimir, it would be very hard to choose you as the favorite. But what we can see so far from the promo tour and run that has started, Anthony Joshua is actually the one that says it's going to be a 50-50 fight. So what I want to do this morning, Austin, is let's go on percentages in this place and say, do you agree with Anthony Joshua when he says it's 50-50? For me, it's not 50-50. No. For me, it's 60-40 in favor of Vladimir. 60-40. I mean, that's about just not a lot of difference.
I know, I share a sentiment. I will go a little bit further. 70-30 for me, because
70-30 for
for Vladimir.
Oh,
yeah, you know why? Because
70-30.
I mean, at the time Eddie was about to sign these, I would have just run to wait, 2 more fights for Joshua. 2 more,
right?
Remember, Lennox Lewis said the same thing. He said, put more experience into the bag.
Just 18 fights.
Yeah,
someone with how many fights?
And you're fighting someone that has won 64 times.
64
He's won 64. We're not talking total bouts.
Yeah, 64 wins. That's what we're talking about. And he will be 41 by that time. I know. I look at these two boxers. I'm like, you've got handsome faces and all that, and you're like, with a punch, this is heavyweight you're talking about.
Look at that.
Welterweight is a heavyweight. So any uppercuts, somebody's face is going to be bloody. But then,
boxing,
April 29th, on that day, okay, I'll do a 50-50 because
Okay.
Joshua knows that. He says, if I win this fight, I'll turn into a legend overnight. So that's what he's going to be looking forward to. And that's something he actually needs to work out for. He's going to work towards that. He's going to get what he wants. You want to win a fight, you want to become a legend overnight. You're fighting in Wembley, 90,000 capacity stadium. It's going to be, in terms of money, it's going to be the highest ever in that highest ever fight stage in the UK. So there's a whole lot of stuff on the ground, and Anthony Joshua knows that he needs to step up his game. If he can do that, then it's going to be 50-50.
Oh, well, I don't understand the correlation between whether he can step up his game
yes,
and it being 50-50. Yeah, I get your
to that level. If you can do that, you're fighting a 41-year-old man. So it's going to be slow. He's sharp.
Joshua playing the same 50-50. You can go either way.
And faster. Vladimir is a bit slow.
Yeah, obviously.
So there's no labor to actually get the punch to him.
But the experience, though.
See if you can dodge it.
The experience.
Yeah, just dodge the punch. And I don't get
They just land.
No, don't allow it to be landing. Don't allow it. Just dance around the ring like Tyson Fury did.
It's gonna be
then he's gonna get tired. Once you dance around the ring around him and dance and do the Flame with that defensive kind of boxing, you may not get some. If you don't have much punches landing on your face and no uppercuts and
not everyone.
It can survive up to the 8th round.
Not everyone is Floyd Mayweather. Not everyone is as good defensively as Floyd Mayweather. So
that's what he needs to employ on that day. Because
we'll see.
What's his nickname? What's his nickname?
Steel armor, iron fist. Yeah.
Do you know what that then is?
Yeah, but Joshua has got power as well. So we've seen an 18 straight knockout.
Okay.
The only problem
what's Joshua's nickname?
AJ,
Someone is called Steel Hammer for a reason, right?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
He lands on the face or on the body.
Yes, but we know Joshua has got real power as well too. That's why he has all those knockouts on his CV. So the only problem he's going to have is inexperience, because he hasn't fought. He's not as experienced as Vladimir. That's the only problem. But we've seen his heavyweight boxing. One punch, can't end the fight, and Joshua has the ability to knock a boxer out. So it's going to be a very fascinating match. There's no doubt, a very fascinating fight. There's no doubt about it. We're just going to sit back and relax and wait, for that time and enjoy it. Boxers have been speaking, ahead of that historic. Yeah, I think it's going to be historic. Yeah, ahead of that historic bout at the Wembley Stadium on April the 29th. Let's listen to them.
Well, what first pops to mind isn't so much like the boxing, it's just hearing that there's this guy that is got a PhD, intelligent, and knows how to fight well. And like the way he represents himself was quite unique from. I watched a lot of Mike Tyson when I first started boxing, so they're very different. But they were both as dominant as each other in their own right. So that's what I remember about Klitschko being very unique.
The respect you have in a way aside to meet in the ring. But how strange.
Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe just the fact that there's a different breed of heavyweights coming through. His era was a good era and a dominant era, but this fight will show him, if he wins, that this is still his era, and if he loses, I think he'll understand that this is a completely new breed of heavyweights coming through, and I have to kind of pass the torch on.
It counts for a lot of things. What can Klitschko bring that can...
But for sure, when we go toe-to-toe, if he's hitting me in the head and I think, okay, I respect you, so I'm going to give you another shot, that would be crazy of me. So my job is to go out there and make sure that I'm hitting him and he's not hitting me, and I perform to my best capabilities. And it's a boxing match. It's no problem to hit someone. It's no problem at all in the ring. Even if... Two gold medalists, former world champion, one current world champion, still a lot to prove. Yet a lot to prove. You've got the guy who went on and achieved great things in his career and has built a legacy. You've got the guy who's yet to still. So when you balance it all up, it's a 50-50 fight, I think, and that's what makes it exciting.
He has developed himself tremendously. He has a professional team. He's an extreme athlete, and he's very athletic. He's trying to learn, and I've experienced that while he was 2 years ago at my training camp. He's calm, he's backed off, and he's learning. He's observing. So I think he has right attitude how to approach the sport and how to get better, and it's going to be really tough for me to fight such a young, ambitious man. Well, it is exciting. I'm still in pretty amazing shape. I don't feel the age till now. I don't know how it's going to be in 5 years, but as currently as right now, I feel motivated. I feel strong. The speed, experience, anticipation, it all works together well, and that's what actually I will need to say a couple of months later on the night of April 29th, just a couple of meters from here, in the middle of the Wembley Stadium. I want to say the same lines. You know what? I still got it. That's why I'm holding these titles in my hands.
Former heavyweight champion of the world, Vladimir Klitschko, speaking ahead of next year's fight against Anthony Joshua.
And you know Klitschko's motivation. If he's just watching and he heard you say former, that thing just gets to him. Former.
So
you see,
after reigning for such a long time,
that's his motivation right there, to come back, prove a point, and losing to two British boxers.
You'll be looking to avoid that.
Unacceptable in Ukraine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
History is also in the making.
So we're gonna say a good fight.
Okay. Another fight is coming up. This one is just this weekend on Saturday. Benan Hoskin. He's 43, right? And he wants to fight a younger guy. And he says he just wants to end everything on a high. Maybe this would just be his last fight, because for him, he has been reigning since 1994 to 2005, having a middleweight, light heavyweight, and the middleweight championship all through. 55 fights, 7. Wow, I don't know. If we can continue with this guy, I don't really know why he wants to keep returning to the ring at this particular age.
Deep. I talk about how kids are like, people keep chasing the records, but you need to chase the records for the right reasons. And so whatever we want to say about this, it's still a record-making event. I mean, look, his career speaks for him.
It speaks for itself, Austin.
But is this the sort of fight we should be looking forward to? Light heavyweight bouts. Hopkins, that has been there forever, almost 45.
Okay, you know what? I think you guys are speechless. No, just listen to him. When you're looking at bosses who talk brash, harsh, this is one of the guys who know how to actually talk very well.
I've thought about it in a lot of ways, like what makes...
Down in front, down in the middle.